Hi, this is Claire again with the full moon cards, and first of all, I'm wishing all of you a happy new year. I know it's late for this, but yes, wishing something good is never wrong. So a belated happy new year, all the best, a healthy new year, and yes, that your wishes may come true, the wishes that are really good for you. So these are the cards. As always, I have drawn them in the German version first, but we will have a look at them in English too. And we start with the Knight of Wands, and this is a wonderful card. It's very very fitting for a new year. It's very suitable, so to say. Yes, it's strong, it's energetic, so you see it, yeah, the element fire. This is really pure energy, pure willpower, pure inner light. And you might know this when you see people, you walk around the streets and some people are there, you see it in their eyes, and some people are more like walking zombies, so to speak. So it's not to offend anyone. We are all sometimes in this mode of just going on and not thinking a lot. And yes, you can't be burning all the time, or you will burn out. Yes, but this inner spark, you know, when someone really has a spark in their eyes and they are alive and there, yeah, and there is this energy in a person, and you can really see and feel it. This is a fire element in us. Yes, because the elements, sometimes people are like, yes, it's nice when you talk about the elements, but it's a little bit it's abstract. It's how do I put it into real life? So I try to make as much examples as possible, so you get a feeling for these energies working in our lives. Yes, coming back to the cards, this is a knight, and the knights are about movement. And this card, in my experience, is quite often literally about movement, which means traveling, going on a trip, vacations, also small trips, like in your own city, in your own region. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's this energy of exploring a new place, or exploring a place where you are not as often. And then you come home again and you feel like this energy, yeah, when you had an experience, and it is like, oh, it has refreshed something in me. It has given me a new impulse. Yes, so this is not like women's magazine hints. You might know them. I think women's magazines are the same everywhere in the world. Like, oh, go on a trip, on a weekend spa trip with your best friend, and your best friend are just looking at each other like, okay, and who takes the kids and who has the money for that, or whatever. Yeah, this is not about these impractical, often for real people. I mean, for us, it's often not very practical, these hints. And yes, so this experience is not attached to money or to circumstances or so much. It's like, really, you can go to another part of your town, you can visit like a gallery and library, whatever you like, a new place, a new where everyone goes or something like that, or just a place in nature around. Yes, going out of the city, going to somewhere where it's green, things like that. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be big in the eyes of other people. It can be just a nice place in your favorite park, which is at the other side of the city, and you go there and you are at this place, and people would be like, this is not a big experience. Ooh, this is not a spa weekend with your best friend. You know what I mean? But for you, it is this special little park, maybe with a little fountain, or with a special little tree that you especially like, yeah? And this makes you happy. And you go there, and it's beautiful, and you go home and you feel refreshed and renewed, yes? So it's all about the real impact that things have on you. It's not about what anyone says. It's not about being big or impressive, because things can be big and impressive for yourself, even if no one else has the same feeling. Yes? So this card is much about inspiration, about power, about moving in a good way, about exploring new things or old things again. Just they give you energy. This is the main word of the element of fire. It's energy. It's the spark in your eyes is glowing again, and it's a good card to think about that, because in everyday life everyone has to do things, many things. So we can lose this a little bit. We can lose track of the importance to sometimes literally move a little bit somewhere. Yes, and maybe your situation doesn't allow for this. Life can be very, very different. Everyone, yes, has different circumstances and starting points from where to go. So it can also be in your mind. It can also be like exploring new topics that really get the fire spark in you going. Yeah, it can be. I mean, everyone is different. Many people are introverted. I am too. So this can be something you are passionate about, and people would be like, "Oh, she's reading another book. Oh, what's so fancy about that?" So yes, but it brings a spark in you out. And someone who is more like an extrovert is going to a party, and maybe they haven't been at parties for a long time, and it's wonderful. Yeah, so this is not just about things that make sense, things that are you know, that are we often tend to put things into little how you say in English, we give them a value when they are logical, when they improve us, when we become better because of it. But the element of fire is a very raw element. It does not always care about self-betterment and self-improvement and things like that. It really cares about your spark, your inner fire. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to be make you advance or anything. It's just passion. Yes, and for some people passion is going out all night, and for some people passion is like reading this fascinating book or whatever. There is always, of course, an in-between. So this really means get your juices flowing and live that passion. And it is, in my experience as a tarot reader, it is often a hint to go to other places. Let's say it in the broadest way. You can go with your mind to other places, but in real life it's also beautiful, and it doesn't have to be something that like going on a retreat. And in the spiritual field, yeah, people are like that, going on a retreat and doing this and doing that. Yes, some people can do this, but most people have a real life. And what is the most important thing is it has to be meaningful for you. It has to be like really kindling your fire. This is the important thing with this card. Yes. So we go on with our card, and when you see the cards like this, here 2 fire, here is water, so this is like the bridge between the two. And this is a 2 of Cups. Of course, it's a wonderful card in matters of love, in matters of relationships. It means that you are face to face and you meet at the same level. It's not just like one person is a chief and the other person is like, oh yes, I do what you want. I don't know how to say this more beautiful in English right now. This is really coming together on the same level, on eye level, as we say in German. And everyone brings something. And this card, it looks so easy. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is one of the nice little tarot cards. But it is, in real life, sometimes very complicated. Yeah, like people are sometimes, oh, this is a good card, this is a bad card. Obviously, this seems to be a good card, nice, harmony, no tower, no devils, no things like that, yeah. But I see as a tarot reader in real life that this can be really important, because many people, they try to hold their cup, their chalice, they hold it onto themselves because of egoism. And I don't mean just the bad egoism. This is when you are like, oh, I'm the best here, go to the side, I'm coming. Things like that. Everyone watch me. There's also this sad kind of egoism, which is based around fear. You don't want to be someone who other people laugh about, someone who makes a mistake, someone who can be ridiculed, someone who gives too much and then sees, no, I've given too much and now it hurts because I think abused is a too strong word in English, but you know what I mean. This is someone has taken advantage of me and now I'm the fool and things like that. Yes, so it's not so easy in everyday life really to get together and to exchange something. And this is, I mean, it's at the core of human being to be social in one way or another. Of course, mass culture was not in our DNA, so to speak. This is, yes, this is relatively recently. Although there have been big towns like 8,000 years ago in what is now Turkey and things like that. So it's not that we are not used to it for many, many years. But the mass culture we have now with social media and with the connection of the internet is, of course, something different and something really new to humanity. So even this can make it even more difficult to, to really give, to really open up. And this is also a card about checking in. What do I have to give? What do I want to give? And it's also checking what the other gives. So it's a card to see what am I contributing and what is the other one contributing. And is this good? Is this balanced? And it also means to look at yourself. Yes, I mean, we all tend to be a little bit like, yes, the other person, and this is his mistake or her mistake, and this and this and this. Yeah, it's just human nature to think I'm perfect, but the other one has really issues. I mean, I think we've all done that, and yes, we can speak about this openly here. So no need to blame anyone for this. Yeah, so it's easy, like in a relationship with a partner, of course, your husband or your partner or your wife really needs to think about some things, yeah? And in reality, it's not like this. Everyone has to think, every side in the relationship has to think about herself or himself. And it can be difficult to acknowledge this sometimes, yeah? And, I mean, this is really about exchange. We had now touched upon what to exchange, yeah, not just like you have to change, but also to think about yourself, well, maybe what could be my flaws, what could be my little ego things, where am I too afraid or too, yes, much comes from fear, the fear to be hurt in some way, yeah, and the ways you can be hurt are manifold, and so this is often a problem. And yes, I'm talking about this in a joking way because, you know, when you take this too serious, it's easy to feel like it's overwhelming. I can't get through it. So you need a little humor in life to get through, really. But I mean this honestly. It's really about pondering about what do I give into my relationships? What is my chalice? What do I bring into them? But also, do I get enough? Do I give enough? Is it on eye level, as we say? Yes. And this card is also, after we had all the problems, about the opportunity to really do it, to really make it, because we are here in the element of water, and the water is flowing. The water finds its way, we say in German. So this means if it can't go this way, we can go another way. Yes? Like, then it will flow to another part where it can flow. So this is about about being able to adapt, about fluidity, flexibility. It is about, like, when one way doesn't work, I will try another one. It's not like taking it too personal when something doesn't work out, because life is like that, and there is sometimes a hindrance, but the water will find its way and flow around it. Yes, like a zigzag movement. It's like a snake here, which is in many cultures a symbol for the water beings. So we also have them here, you see. You might know this from yoga, Ida and Pingala, and the middle. This is also like in Nepalese shamanism, you have these two snakes, the Naga. So this is much is into the cards and the symbolism here. And the main thing is really about flowing exchange. Go with the flow. Yes, don't take things too personal, because then really going further and moving on isn't possible. And the element of water is always about flowing. Yeah, when water becomes stagnant, it becomes foul, it becomes smelly, it starts to rot. So it needs to flow. And this also means for this card, it's better to have at least a little flow, and it might not be perfect, but it's going on, than to sit onto my position, so to speak, and no, I won't go away from my position. It's my position. I'm perfect. I know it. he or she has to understand that he or she is having issues, but not me. Yes, so go with the flow. And this card means you can achieve this. Yeah, I mean, we have talked about the problems now for a while, but this really means you are able to achieve this. Trust this, trust the flow, trust the soft path. Yes, it's like a little bit more Asian philosophy, a little bit more tenderness. Like many years ago, I was at a dojo where you could do martial arts, or I did Tai Chi. I'm not the martial arts type, but yes, the master, the sensei, always had this saying like the bamboo doesn't break, the bamboo bends in the wind, but then comes back again. And this the usual tree, it's not very elegant English now, but the usual tree breaks in the wind and is broken then, but the bamboo knows to go with the wind and to go upright again after the wind has gone. Yeah, flexibility, this is really the word. Yes, let's go to our third card, and this is a 10 of Wands. We have fire energy again, but it could not be more difficult from this, or different from this. This is really, it's weighting you down. Things are weighting you down. And what is, always remember about this card, what is most important is a single task is manageable. You can really do it. But all the tasks together, this is what makes it difficult. And I see this as a tarot reader again and again. People are like, oh, my life is not so exhausting. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm very exhausted. Yeah. And this is because there is not like one big challenge, one big thing you have to do, like moving into another home. Then you know, okay, this is really a challenge. But these are the many little things in everyday life, and they add up. This is a problem with this card. You really have to pick some of the sticks out, because every one of them is bearable. It's really, you can really do it, but together they are too much and they weight you down. And this is like the fire coming down, and it's like going to burn out in that direction. Yeah. So think about what is of top priority to you. And with this, it's important to also put the fun into it, to also make fun priority, because we all know this from everyday life. It's like, okay, I will have my priorities, so I have to do this and that and that. And then you have a list of things that have to be done, yes, but yeah, it's work, you know, it's not like fun or happy. So you really, because we are used to think like, okay, I will do the useful things first, I will do the things that make sense first. Yeah. And this is, of course, it is beautiful, but also put a little fun into it, a little, yeah, like, it doesn't have to be big, it just has to make your heart smile. Yes. So when we put these cards together, these are really like a bridge. Yeah, communication. It can also mean talk to others. I mean honest others, not the self-improving queen around, but to honest others about how they do it, about their challenges, about what are you doing to improve it, how you approach the situation. Be curious about others. Yes. And how they do it, and then leave out some things, do less, because many people try to find like the perfect meditation technique, the perfect yoga method, the perfect nutritions to just be able to achieve more. And the problem is that you should do less, that you are already at the top of what's possible. And if you go over it, it's nonsense to do this. Yes. So we are, it's just how our society thinks. Yeah, you have to achieve more. It must be possible. You have to optimize yourself, and then you can just put a little more out of yourself. You can give a little more, but this only leads to exhaustion, especially when this card shows up. There are times when it's totally fine to go and to push and to make it happen. Yes, but when cards like this show up, it's totally okay to like, okay, this is prio 1, this is prio 2, this is prio 3. I focus on prio 1. Yes. So when we put this together, here is an inspiration from the cards to move to other places, to watch other places, or how you could say it better in English, to have a look at them, to visit them, to, yes, have some fresh wind around your nose, as we say in German. And this is also always connected to the fire in your eyes, things that make you happy. And maybe you are an introvert or an extrovert, somewhere in between. You're just a person, yeah, maybe very sensitive, maybe very robust. We are all different. If nature wanted us to be like one and the same, we would be. So apply this to your own situation, to your own temperament. Can you say it like this in English? Your nature. Apply this to your nature, but go out. It's like a bit of going out of the comfort zone, but not meaning overachievement. It's really like when it's this little park at the other side of the town and you really like it, then go there. Yeah. It just have to give you the spark of inspiration, and this will reflect on the rest of your life. This gives you fuel for the rest you have to do. Yes? So it's a very inspirational card, a moving and inspirational card. This means really getting it done, or however you want to say, with other people. Having a second look at things, thinking about your contribution and their contribution, and is this balanced, and do I really give, or am I just accusing someone of having issues? Or, I mean, we are all little, yes, I'm missing the English word right now, like people who try to be better than they really are. We are, sometimes we are. Yes, this is just because our culture has this focus on being better so much. So it's easy to just look at the other side and say like, oh, you have to change. Yeah, things like that. So always look also onto yourself, who you are, and think about exchange. Talk to people who are close to you, who are honest. They don't have to be perfect. Yeah, it's sometimes the people, I mean, when you search for perfect friends, you won't ever have some. It's like when you search for the perfect husband or wife, you won't ever have one because we are not perfect. Yeah. So this is also, as I have said it before, about the flexibility of the element water that makes social interaction possible. Yes, because we are not perfect, but we have a heart, and the heart and the matters of emotions are a huge topic of the cups, of the chalices. Yes. So keep this in mind. This is a very friendly and heart-opening card. Yes, have an honest look on everything, but you can be tender with it and always be fluid and always be adaptable. And yes, like the water. Water finds its way. Yes, and our last card for this reading is, as we have already talked about, doing less. Don't try to overachieve, and have a look, an honest look at all these little tasks of the day, or the things you follow on, I don't know, on social media, or the things you are interested in, and really pick out what is most important now and leave the rest to the side, and try to procrastinate a little bit. Because when you procrastinate a little bit, you see what's really important. If something doesn't have to be done immediately, leave it to the side. And sometimes you look at a task or an interest like 3 or 4 days later, and you are like, yes, I thought at that moment it's really important, but it's not. I can do it later, or maybe it's not so interesting at all, but I thought at that moment it would be interesting. Yeah. So really procrastinate a little bit where it's possible. You know what I mean? It's not about procrastinating everywhere, but it's really about, yes, taking out the drive a little bit so you can see what is really important, what really matters, so you don't get, yes, and burning and aging back, so to say, from all of the things you have to do. Yes, so these are the full moon cards for this time, and we will see each other in the next video again. And again, I wish all of you a happy new year, a good new year, a healthy new year. May 2024 bring just the best to us. Okay, so we will see each other in the next video again.